Hello and welcome. My name is Sharon and this is Trio.of.Witches Tarot, and this is part 3 on my C decks of all of my decks from A to Z. And this is Carnival at the End of the World, which if you've been around TarotTube, you've seen, I'm sure. It comes with the Madame Lulu's Book of Fate. It has extra cards in it. And the book is very creative. The deck is very creative and interesting. There's not a lot of text in the book. I still think it's worth it because it's its own thing. It is the same thing and it is very different, and it has enchanted me. I just don't even know the creative mind that this stuff came from. And some of the cards in here, this is the Orville Peck card. Some cards in here are my favorite cards of all decks for that card. I think the Empress, the Queen of Swords, love her. Have to find the Empress. Love this card. These guys, her. There are a lot of cards in here I like it. The weird Burning Men kind of different things. There's more than one like that. Are kind of weird to me. There's some of the extra cards. It's the Fool. Her, love the High Priestess. The Empress. It's the tarot. There's nudity. If you shouldn't be looking at nudity, you shouldn't be watching tarot videos. The Devil. It's a very interesting deck. So that's Carnival at the End of the World. And this is Carte Postale. And I have number 113 out of 500. Comes in this nice box. This cardstock is just to die for. So the backs look like antique wallpaper. And this is old photographs that are collaged, but in a very reserved, conservative hand. So they don't feel collaged, they don't feel overworked. And I just love this deck. It's perfect. I don't think there's a card in here I don't like or would change. The colorization, so beautiful. I love all of the aces are a flower. It is really, really well done. It's definitely worth the money if you're interested in a photo collage deck. And this cardstock. Oh, it's just perfect. Love this card. So that is Carte Postale. I have the Cheimonette Tarot, which I believe is the correct way to pronounce the name of this deck based on an email exchange I had with the creator. And it is a little deck. Grab a regular sized tarot. So it's the same width but shorter. And this is a very unique deck. Those are the backs. Comes with a little white book which has small full color pictures of each card. And it also comes with a PDF that you can print, which is the same thing as this, just bigger. And if you flip it over, this is a very unique deck. Kind of its own system. Beautiful colors. I love the artwork. I love that all of the court cards are close-ups. And there is I should do a deep dive on this. There is repeating themes throughout the cards. Small details become larger details in other cards. So it does make sense. The horse is very important. It's in a lot of cards. Really love this deck. It is so unique. So evocative. Just beautiful. And the Fool card is black and white. Where's the Fool? There it is. So that's the Fool. And there's 3 world cards, I believe. There's 2 of them. Anyway, so that is the Cheimonette Tarot. And the Children of Litha. So this is by Zia Huntington. And this is the Rose Petal Black Edged edition. There is somewhere in the universe different cardstock with gold gilding. Honestly, I don't even know if I've ever seen pictures of it or videos of it. I just see people saying they're in search of it. Comes with a guidebook. Small little cameos of the cards. And the artwork in this is so beautiful. And very evocative. And there's water, animals, and love that Fool. Getting a lot of cups. Hermit. There you go with a fae-like creatures. Again with the fae and the lovers. Butterflies. Love this Hanged Man because mermaid. So this has got just about everything you're looking for if you're looking for a fae deck, in my opinion anyway. And beautiful colors. The only thing I would have liked is rather than having these cameos of the artwork, if it had been more of a full bleed. Because it's just so, there's so much going on and it's so beautiful. That would have been my one wish, I think. It's a great deck. One of my 3 round decks that I have is the Circle of Life Tarot. And this is a very fae deck again. If you didn't notice, fae and mermaids and animals like those. So I guess I didn't talk about that. Has a little spot in there for the little white book. And it is a little white book, but it is really chock full of information on what's in these cards, which I appreciate. And it's in more than one language, I believe. It's not the greatest cardstock. Those are the backs. They're pretty. It's not the worst cardstock. And I edged mine in kind of a metallic purple. And it does have on the back, so if you wanted to know which is the right way, it has a dot on each card, which is the left-hand side when it's flipped over. So there's that. And then there's crowns for each of the courts, and I don't have those memorized. But then you have your symbol down here of what suit it is. And they have the numbers on them and the minors. I really like this deck. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's mermaids in it. I'm pretty sure Justice in this deck is what sold me on this deck. Not that I didn't like it to begin with. I wasn't sure about a round deck. Hanged Man this way. There we go. And it is interesting to work with it as it lays, because I do work with cards directionality. So if they lay kind of different directions, that is meaningful to me. So I don't mind that they're rounded. There she is. Justice is a mermaid. And mushrooms. Lots of fairies. But like I was saying, I do read with directionality, so that they fall in different directions. I'm okay with that. Like that hermit. It is different. It doesn't really follow, again, it's kind of its own system. But if you know RWS or something, you can just apply your understanding of those cards to it and then add on any layers you want from the imagery in the cards. You're free to do whatever you want. There is no tarot, please. I do like this magician. He reminds me of Father Christmas. Okay, so that's the Circle of Life Tarot. And this is the Clover Tarot, which came in a bigger box, and I found this perfect bag for it on the same website that Lily White and Lily the Black and all those decks are sold on. They have bags too, and I thought this was perfect. Comes with a little book. So there is nudity warning. There's nudity in this deck. Has 2 lovers cards. One of them is much more explicit than the other. And this came from, oh, I can't remember where. Latvia. This came from Latvia. So it has a nice little white book that comes with it. And did I say how much I was pleased with this bag for it? And it's about the same size and cardstock as the Lovely Ohm Tarot. It reminds me of the Lovely Ohm a little bit, kind of the colors and all. And they're bigger cards, just wider, same height. Kind of a Thoth-inspired deck. It doesn't follow, like some of the cards follow. This is very much a Thoth. Fool. I like that High Priestess. But then some of the cards are very RWS traditional. So it definitely is not a Thoth deck. But then I think, if I remember correctly, we have Judgment and the World. Okay. And I would like to thank the creators for actually having body hair on these people. But then we have sort of RWS. It's kind of a mishmash and then some of its own stuff. It's an interesting deck. It also reminds me of the Jolanda Tarot a little bit. I love this Ace of Cups. I mean, the Ace of Cups is one of my favorites, but this is one of my particular favorites. And it's very colorful. And mermaid. You don't see this one very much. Like, I mean, I think I stumbled upon some old YouTuber's video of it, and then I found it, and then I've seen, since I posted my video, maybe 1 or 2 other people have gotten it and posted videos about it. Some of the faces are weird. There's one where he looks like he has a Hitler mustache. I'm not sure if it's a mistake or what the deal with it is. This guy. I tried to cover it up a little bit but I don't know. No, he just looks like he has a bloody nose instead of a Hitler mustache. Yeah, for some reason this reminds me of Jolanda. Pan instead of the devil. Anyway, that's the Clover Tarot. And now we are on to my trio of cosmic decks. And the first one is the Cosma Visions by James R. Eads. And this is technically an oracle. It's a toracle, kind of. It is 78 cards. It does have the same structure. The major arcana are, there they are kind of reordered and renamed so that it starts at death. The Fool is death, and kind of goes from there. And they have their own names, but they, in the big book that comes with this, and maybe even in the small guidebook that comes with this, let's see. It does tell you, get there. Yeah, so it does tell you the mirror card of the tarot. So if you were to get 0 death, it is technically still the Fool. So I use this, kind of as a toracle. I use it tarot-y, but I don't know. I don't even know how to describe how we use it. The court cards are renamed, and if you've seen this deck before, it is, they are panoramic. But I think, yeah, let's see. I'd have to find the right ones. Birds. The weavers are birds, I think. It's very colorful. I actually should use this more. I really do like this. Maybe it's Cosma Visions I'm thinking of that isn't quite as clear. Maybe that's why I like this one better. Anyway, all of his decks are panoramic. And I'm not going to try and do the panorama. Yeah, so there you go. And you don't even have to, so I think you don't even have to be in order for it to work. Yeah, see the Ace of Birds can go here. It's very clever how it all fits together. It isn't a perfect fit, but you can still do it. Anyway, love that too. It is very, very cool. And it does, other than the minors follow RWS for the most part. The majors still do, even though they're kind of, the court cards are the ones I struggle with because I lose track of even what suit is what, so I have to look that part up. So that's Cosma Visions. And this is Cosmic Visions. This is from Australia, I believe. Nice sturdy 2-part box. Jessica Shackleton. And has a nice guidebook with it. No pictures. I really, like, not pictures in a guidebook is, like, not even a thing for me. I don't even care. If I'm looking it up, I have the card out. It's on rose petal, but it's much thinner and more flexible than most rose petal, and not too sticky. I think it shuffles pretty nicely, if I remember correctly. Yep. So those are the backs. Like them. And I don't think I edged it. I think it came this way. So it's black and white with huge splashes of rainbow colors. And it does follow RWS, so the imagery is a little bit different, a little bit psychedelic. There's nudity again. I love this guy, this 2-headed coyote guy. It does feel a little bit like a 70s acid trip and has some kind of spaceship alien imagery, which generally I'm not big on. Aliens are not my thing, but I kind of like it in here. I think the Hanged Man is an astronaut, and the Fool, is it the Fool who's getting beamed up? I'll have to look him up in a minute. Like that Lovers. I love the use of color in this. Let me find those cards I was talking about. So there's that card again. I was trying to remember what that reminded me of. It's Carlos Castaneda. Read his books back in the day. Very much reminds me of that. And there's the Fool with the spaceship pulling him up. Nice. The Eight of Pentacles. They like to use bees and Eight of Pentacles on a lot of decks. I like bees, so. And there's the Hanged Man. It's an astronaut. So that is the Cosmic Visions Tarot. And this is the Cosmic Tarot. So I got it secondhand. It did not have a box. It came in a bag. And it came with a little white book, which you could get by with. Don't need to study it too deep. Has a little bit of meanings for each card. Doesn't go into too much depth about what's in the cards. Some of the cards have like Hollywood stars in them. And so then I have both books about it. I think this is the one that has, thought it discussed when it was based on, oh yes, Greta Garbo in this one. So it does talk about it. And these are the backs. And it's a very interesting deck. So to me this feels like Thoth meets RWS meets, maybe it's not. Love that Ace of Cups. Some of my favorite cards in all decks is in this deck. I guess I could say that about every deck I have. Don't keep it if I don't love it. The couple cards with the rays coming out of the eyes. I think the Justice does that too. It's very Hollywood feel to it. It's a very interesting deck. There you go, the rays, and again. And there's a couple cards that came up in a reading that I did last night with this. So I got, let's go through all of this first. There's the Fool. I like that Fool a lot. It's so bright and colorful. So I got both of these in a reading, which I thought was really interesting. I don't think I'd ever noticed until they came up in a reading together that they were both in the same pose. So I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. I'll let you ponder that. So that is the Cosmic Tarot. And this is Crimson Asteria, which comes in this two-piece shiny gold and red box, which is just beautiful. And it comes with a little white book, which doesn't have any pictures, just has some meanings for each card. And it has extra cards. It's edged in this wonderful red. I forget how many extra cards, so it's chunky because they're all mixed in right now. And they are big cards. If we compare again to a regular tarot, it's hard to tell, but they are a little bit taller and definitely wider. It's still on the back side, than you can see. There you go. So it's a big deck. It is all gold and black and white and shades of red. And it is very different. When I first saw this deck, I thought, that is so interesting, but I wasn't sure how I'd work with it. I wasn't sure if I'd like it once I had it in hand, and it's an indie deck. I love this card. Asteria is one of the extras. But then as time went on and I saw it more and more, another extra card, it just grew on me. Something about it is just so endearing in a weird, creepy way. And then I was able to either purchase it or trade for it, so it's secondhand. I think it was someone's extra, maybe. I don't think it was used. Here's the Fool. There's just, as creepy as these should be, or were at first to me, are now just so charming to me. I really like this deck. Sometimes when I just want to feel better or be cheered up, this deck does that. The 2 bunnies instead of dogs. And I wouldn't have thought that. If you had told me that before I had gotten it, that, oh, it'll cheer you up and it's so cheerful and you'll feel better just looking at it. I would have thought you were a crazy person. Like all these weird naked bodies that are kind of weirdly shaped and have no body hair. Another one of the extra cards. And of course there's mermaids in here of different flavors. So yeah, how am I not gonna like it? So that is Crimson Asteria. And this is the Cursed Auguries, which is a Marseille inspired deck. Comes in this. It comes from Spain. It is very, very witchy and really beautiful, very different. And she holds her secrets close to her chest. There is no guidebook for this. I wish there was. I would love to know more about what's going on in each of these cards. Nails and snails and rabbits and apples and toads and frogs' eggs, tadpoles, spiders. It's creepy. Snakes. A lot of skulls. A lot of spiders' webs, branches. It's very unusual. I don't usually use this by itself. I usually use it in tandem with another tarot to just kind of help me with the interpretations. I'm not real good. Numerology is not my thing, and so 8 apples doesn't mean a whole lot to me. But I really do like this deck, and it's nice. Linen cardstock, easy to shuffle. Feels like the Game Crafter linen cardstock. Justice, very different. Like the backs too. So that's Cursed Auguries. So those are all my C decks. This one's probably a little bit shorter. But my next one I'm going to make, it's going to be probably like D, E, F, something. I have very few in the next few letters of the alphabet. So I don't want to make these too long. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And remember to like and subscribe and click on the bell so you know when I have new videos. And stay tuned for the giveaway. Thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, so I've decided to do a giveaway for the length of all of my decks A to Z videos. So whenever I am done doing all of those videos, this giveaway will end. And it's for the Dreaming Way Tarot. It's a mass market deck. And you've probably seen this before. I'm not going to do a full flip through. It's a very nice deck. Just isn't one that I use, so I've decided to give it away. So this is open to everyone who's 18 years or older, and if you're in the US, the shipping is free. If you're outside the US, then you have to be willing to spring for the shipping, because I just can't. This is a hobby. I can't afford to ship to other countries, especially when sometimes it's like $30. So there's that. And how you need to enter is to, in the comments, put in a comment, all one word, all my decks. And that's all you need to do. You can comment more if you'd like to. And then I will contact you if you won at the end of the drawing. Okay, thanks.